Joining me now, former Reagan economic advisor, Art Laffer.
How are you, John?
Hi, Art. How are you?
Great.
Good to see you, buddy. Hassett says the coming year will see upside risks. Do you agree with that?
I do. I think every policy is in place that's correct. The deregulation, the tax bill. I even think that the Fed going maybe 6 of those increases in interest rates were great. I think they should not have done the last 2. It's had a very deleterious effect on the market. But I think we're in very good shape. And if the president gets through on his trade stuff, this could be the best year ever, 2019. I'm just very excited. And Kevin Hassett has it exactly correct. We're going to have over 3% growth in this last year. That's amazing, John. And by the way, you spell your last name a little bit wrong. The first letter should be an L, not T.
I guess we're connected in that way.
Somehow it has to be somewhere, divine providence somewhere.
You know, Art, I'm out on the street as a business person all the time,
yes.
And I see, high retail activity, great restaurant opportunities. Where is the disconnect between the marketplace and the market?
I don't think the market's out of whack much. I mean, we've had a very nice run since Trump was elected and nominated. It's been there. I mean, it's been a very big increase in wealth in this country. It's going to be a lot bigger in 2019. But remember, with Reagan, we came in 1981 on January 20th, and we had our first tax bill passed that year. But it took quite a while for that tax bill to really catch hold and really cause the enormous growth in 83 and 84. And if that same type of pattern holds with President Trump, 2019 and 2020 are going to be really spectacular years. From January 1st, 1983 to June 30th, 1984, we grew, John, by 12% or at an 8% per annum annual growth rate. We aren't anywhere near that yet, but it is possible. And that's what the policies do. And I think these policies, if allowed to really steep into the economy, will do a great job. And Kevin Hassett's just wonderful, and I think he's dead on.
President Trump, slamming the Fed, tweeted this: "The only problem our economy has is the Fed. They don't have a feel for the market. They don't understand necessary trade wars or strong dollars or even Democrat shutdowns over the borders. The Fed is like a powerful golfer who can't score because he has no touch. He can't putt." What do you think?
I love him. I think the president's brilliant. I mean, tweets like that are just brilliant. The Fed and the president have always not always disagreed. They've often disagreed. I mean, it was Arthur Burns who supposedly cost Nixon his election to Kennedy. Then it was I was in the Nixon White House in 1970, 72, and during that period there was a battle going on between Nixon and Arthur Burns as Fed chairman. It was just amazing. Those battles happened, and they're happening now. I think the Fed should have been far more sensitive to the stock market. And, there's nothing wrong with taking a little time off from raising rates. If they just had seen those markets coming down and just stopped and took a reprieve, I think everything could have been a lot better. And I think the president has a lot better sense for the markets than the Fed does as well. I think he's right on that.
Would you have liked to have seen the Fed wait till after the first of the year to raise hikes?
I wish they'd not done the last 2. The first 6 they did. 8 rate hikes in 2 years. The first president's 2 years, the most ever by any stretch of the imagination. And I wish they'd just taken a little. 6 would have been enough. Let them go for a while before they do the next round. Maybe a year from now. That would have made a lot of sense to me. They had to raise rates at some stage. There's no question. But these last 2 ones were market killers, I thought.
I found out businessmen really reacted to it occurring before the end of the year, and it really juggled confidence. I think it had a very negative effect.
Yeah, they could have waited 6 months. There's no, there's this High Road to China with Tom Selleck, my favorite movie, and they had to go see this scientist up in the mountains of Himalayas, and they had to go by oxen. Go by oxen, he said. Oxen are slow, but the earth, she is patient. And, a long boom that's done carefully, slowly, deliberatively is far better than a rush and then a crash. And I think we shouldn't be doing things too rashly at all. We've got all the policies in place, John, and all we need to do is wait for them to take their full effect, and you'll see things really work out nicely.
So, Art, how come your peers don't share your enthusiasm in some cases?
I don't think they know as much economics as I do, John. I'm just joking. I've had a lot of experience in Washington, as you know, a lot of academic experience as well. And, you know, when you look at these things from a very long-term perspective, it works out very nicely. If you look at two articles in the Wall Street Journal in the last week, one by Gary Cohen, which talked about the tax bill, which really nailed it right on the head. And then there was a lovely piece by Jason Furman, who doesn't like our economics at all, by the way, but he conceded in that article that we are doing about 5 times better than he thought we would, both on employment and on GDP growth. I mean, we've hit his 4 or 5 year target in the first year on both of those. So he gave us a lot of credit, and he does say that it was due to the tax bill. He didn't concede that he was wrong on his paper, but it was a very nice paper that he wrote.
Well, I share your enthusiasm, Art. Great to have you.
It's very exciting.
It is.
Isn't
It's a great time.
It's going to be a great year, 2019, John. 2000, and just change that last name from T to L, and you got it.
Why don't you change yours from L to T? We'll be good to go.
I'll make you a deal. Let's switch them.
Take care, Art.
Talk to you later, John. Bye.